What is up, YouTube tool tubers of the world? My name is Brad. Welcome to the Workbench. We have a long-term review of the Olsa Tools tool backpack that just might surprise you.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Olsa Tools did send this out to quite a few people already, so there are other reviews out there on this bag. But there is not a single review that I've seen after it's been used extensively with tools inside of it. For those of you new to the channel, I work in the oil field. Well, I did before the virus hit. But that's where I use this at. I use this in the oil field, not a drill or anything like that. I was a maintenance technician and sometimes an operator when we got really busy. So I did a lot of maintenance on the road. I didn't have a toolbox in a shop where things came to me. So when Olsa Tools contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in looking at their tool backpack, I was all about it. I thought it would fit my needs perfectly. There's a lot of things I do like about it, and a lot of things I could see being useful in other trades or applications. But there was a lot of things I didn't like about this bag that weren't necessarily detrimental, but for the price they were asking, I just couldn't recommend the bag, and kind of why I drug my feet on doing this review so long. So before I get into my personal opinion, let me show you the features. By far, the #1 greatest feature about this bag that does set it apart from all the other tool backpacks I looked at was the fact that I can fit a 24-inch pipe wrench comfortably inside this bag. So when I was actually using this, I didn't keep an actual 24-inch pipe wrench in the bag, but I did on a regular basis carry an 18-inch crescent wrench in this bag with all my other tools in there. So that was the coolest thing about this backpack, is the sheer size of it. You know, it wasn't nothing for me to keep a pair of 16-inch channel locks in there, and I did on a regular basis. The fabric feels plenty durable. You can tell that they've reinforced many areas. So like right here has some kind of cardboard or something reinforcement. Right here along the top has some kind of reinforcement. The back has some padding right here. I would have liked to see more padding on the shoulder straps, because I had, and I weighed it, 67 pounds in this bag. That was overloading it according to their website. I think it was, they recommend like 55 pounds. But of course, this is Brad's Workbench. I'm going to test the tool as much as I can before I give you my opinion on it. So I would have liked to seen some more padding on here. It was adequate for me, but with 65, 67 pounds, this strap dug into you real quick. Luckily, I really didn't have to walk too far with it, but it was uncomfortable enough that most of the time I would just carry this like a regular tool bag, which kind of defeats the purpose. The zippers, very nice and heavy duty. They didn't skimp out on the zippers. And the rubber bottom, I like it. Again, not somewhere they try to skimp out like some other companies do. It is solid one piece, probably about 2.5, 3 inches up. That way, if you do happen to set your bag in some mud on moist ground, lots of times you're out there, you know, a few minutes after it rains and it's just kind of soppy. And if you don't have a rubber bottom on your bag, that moisture will wick out of the ground and go up into your bag. You got 3 pockets in the front, a large one at the bottom with a nice little buckle to keep your items from falling out. Mostly, if the bag happens to tumble over. I guess it all depends on what you're storing in there, if it falls out or not. But it's a pretty deep open area. I would have liked to seen some of the elastic bands to maybe keep some small screwdrivers in there. About 7.5 inches deep. And you got also some small pockets up there at the top. These small pockets are actually pretty big themselves and allow you to carry a lot of different things. You can see the measurements there. You can easily fit your hand down into the bottom of it. So screws, Teflon tape, nuts, bolts, oddball items. Earplugs, like I said, PPE was good to keep in the front. That's what I like to keep up there. Inside the bag, you can see a variety of storage options. You got 6 smaller pockets for like screwdrivers, I would call it, and then the larger ones for pliers or maybe a small multimeter. But again, I'm showing you the measurements there, around 12 inches wide, give or take. These are all approximate measurements. I like to keep my pliers like this because I was able to store more, but you could very easily keep even larger pliers in there face down. They got little bit holders, is what I would call these little elastic pockets, because they only go down an inch, inch and a half. Over here is some precision screwdriver holders or pens, you know, make whatever you want to put in there. Another thing I noticed was the base of the bag has the same material as the rest of it, but underneath you can feel a honeycomb pattern of rubber, so it could probably offer some impact resistance. But what I love the most is I could easily fit a 6-inch Harbor Freight magnetic bowl in the bottom of it, and I use this all the time. That way you don't lose track of parts out in the field. Now the other side of the bag does have a very large pocket. You could probably fit a smaller laptop, like a Chromebook type laptop in there, but I wouldn't suggest it just because it's not padded, it's not protected from your tools banging around on it like other bags are. It is pretty deep. That's where I kept the 18-inch crescent wrench and the channel locks. Any of my bigger tools I would just chunk back there. And then they have 3 larger pockets sitting there. You can see you can keep a fairly small meter. A Fluke amp clamp will fit in that middle section. Now the middle one is a little larger than the 2 outside ones that are next to it, but not by much. You can see by this blurry zoomed in picture, it's around 7 inches tall, about 5 inches wide, and the other ones on the outside are around 3.5, 3 3/4 inches wide. So it kind of gives you an idea of the size of the bag. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the features of this backpack. But here's the biggest problem I had with it. This was my biggest complaint, is this damn thing, no matter what I do, kept slouching over here at the corner. I mean, it just looks sad. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what to do to get this thing to straighten back out. I had sockets down here, heavy impact sockets down in the bottom. I had my meters here, and this is just an example, but I did have a 18-inch crescent wrench that sat comfortably in here, and I suspect that's what started causing the sag. And the only thing I can guess is that one day it was sagging like that, it got left in my truck in the heat, and whatever's in here is something that can melt. That's my only conclusion to what could have happened to this thing. Because the few times I did get to use it before it started leaning, it was nice. I would open my bag up about that much, and I could grab my quick tools. My main tools I kept here, my meters, and my more seldom used tools I kept on this side. So I always had quick access to this. It's a very well built bag. Like the fabric, the stitching, all seems very high quality. I wish they would have done a little bit more with the front, because it's nice to have the tools that you're using all the time right here. I would like to see a few dividers here. The top pockets, no problem with it all. I like having those up there. That's kind of your catch-all for little small parts, wire nuts, whatever you happen to be working on. I like this bag. I like it for its sheer size. So even when I get a tool for free, I still check the Amazon price, because before I can ever recommend something, I have to know that I'd be willing to shell out the money to buy it. When they first sent me this bag, it was listed on Amazon for $99. And at $99, and my first impressions, I was like, maybe, you know, if it does outstanding, $99 isn't bad for a well-built bag. But like 2 or 3 months later, the price shot up to somewhere around $120.
Not today.
I definitely wouldn't pay $120 for it. Now, recently when I just checked, it is $85. Now, if it does ever get down to around the $60 to $70 range, I would say buy it all day. Hopefully this was just a fluke and the other ones perform better, because I haven't seen anybody else complain about this. That hopefully this was just a fluke on me. Let me know, do you think it's worth the $99? Because that's one point of contention I really had, is it has its faults, but is it worth the money?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards no. But if the price goes low enough, it might be worth taking the risk on. Until next time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down there, We'll holla at you next time. Peace!
Only play in hardcore mode when protecting the Black Soul Stone, so wouldn't really call it super fun as much as it is the most intense thing of all time.